One more thing I want to show you is the easiest way to show and hide divs or sections of your code. I'm just going to use a div because that's a generic container that we can use. So I've created some basic style information here. And if I display that, you can see I've got divs for A and B, and then I've got a couple of buttons down here that says show A and show B. Let's play around with this a little bit. I can hide my style information now because that doesn't matter. You can see my lovely color scheme here. What you can see in the script here is that I have now already created variables, JavaScript variables that represent div A and div B, and then the buttons show A and show B. That's just to save us a little bit of time. But I'm using document and get element by ID to show those or to identify those variables. Now I can work with them a little bit easier. So if I want to, let's say, have those divs start out hidden, and then I'm just going to show them when I click the button, I'm going to go into my style information here, and I'm going to add a display none. Okay, on that one, and a display none on the next one. So div A and div B both have display.none. If I save that now, they disappear. They're still there in the code, but they are not displayed as part of the document. You also notice that when I hide those buttons move up, it's because they're actually taken out of the document flow itself. So display none really removes them from the document itself. And if you don't want that to happen, you're going to have to replace it with something that's not visible but still takes up that space, like a div that's the same size but has no content and no properties. So just something to think about, or no visible properties, I should say, but just something to think about as you're thinking about how these interactive changes might affect your page layout. So let's add an event handler to show A. So I'm going to say show A dot add event listener, and we'll just go with the good old-fashioned click and a anonymous function. And when I want to click on show A and I want A to show, all I'm going to do is div A dot style dot display equals, and I'm going to say inline block, because I don't want it to take up that whole row. I want it to just go back into that spot. So if I save that, and now I click show A, there it is. Beautiful. Okay, I can do the same thing. If I want to show B, I can be lazy and just copy and paste the vast majority of my code here. Just change a couple letters. There's B, and there's A. Now, notice there's nothing there to hide them. And so that is kind of an interesting, if I want to be able to toggle them on or off, then I've got to get into a little bit more code. But I think what I want to do is when A is showing, I want B to be hidden, and when B is showing, I want A to be hidden for now. So that's where I'm going to go next. So what I'm going to do is every time I show A, I'm going to change div B back to none. And the same thing is going to happen when I show B. I'm going to change div A back to none. So let's save that. And now it looks like I am switching back and forth between the two of them. Now, in order to have each of these buttons be a toggle where I could show and hide A and I could show and hide B, I'm going to have to do a little bit more work, and that's going to require some code branching. So we're going to have to come back to that later because we haven't covered code branching yet in this portion of the class. So it'll be a cliffhanger for you. You'll have to just settle for this right now. And of course, I could have another button that says hide A and hide B, and then I have a fine level of control over both of them. But if I wanted each button to just toggle off and on each div, that takes a little bit more complex coding, and we'll get to that soon enough, but just not quite yet.